we're going to start. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. Everything we're talking about today is pure opinion, right? So everybody always thinks that, oh, it's Facebook, it's actual facts. We're going to give our perspective on the last 3 weeks of what has happened in the market, and what has happened with mortgages. What are we seeing as brokers, and what are we doing about it? But I do want to say everything, like the disclaimer at the bottom is this is perspective versus actual facts, right? So we've heard it, we've seen it, it's happening, but there's so much controversy when it comes to whether it's happening or not. Here's a couple of things that we've been seeing. One thing's for sure, I've noticed that a lot of the, I guess you want to say, so Aaron, I want to take I brought you on because what are you seeing with privates? I want to know your opinion on privates right now and what's happening.
Market-wise or actual lending-wise? So
lending. Let's talk about lending.
So two things are happening in the private world right now. Essentially, lenders aren't lending their money on 80% loan to value because most of my clients, and myself included, actually, if we're giving honest opinions, think the market's going to drop. So for any private investor or any monoline investor to lend up to 80% loan to value on a home is now going to become irrelevant because what's 80% now, even in a month, who knows what 80% is going to be. So now they're in a bad position, and me as agent broker, I'm putting my investor in a bad position too, because that value might not be there at the end of the year, at the end of the term.
Right. So let me add something right there with the appraiser. I just had a house that about 4 years ago appraised at 550. It's now on Purview 620. You know what one of my appraisers said? It's down 20%.
Already.
Do you believe that?
Wow.
So I'm back. I'm not 550 now. I'm 500.
Right.
How scary is that, right?
Very scary. You're going to, so I'm sure you've already heard Carmen too, but all your mix, so mortgage investment companies, for those who don't know what a mix is. So they're backing out. They're not, they're lending, but at 65% loan to value.
And who has that right now?
Everybody.
No, but I'm saying who has that? Like who has 65?
Oh yeah, no.
Like for borrowers.
And that's the problem. Nobody has 65. Like it's basically nobody's lending because they're like, well, yeah, 65% loan to value. Well, everybody needs at least 75, right? To get any type of loan approved, essentially.
Exactly. So here's my thing. Jamie, we talked about this and you came up with the idea. I'm calling this predatory lenders coming out right now, trying to say, call me, I can solve your problem. Call me, I can get you a quick loan, 30,000, call me. So I essentially want to warn all borrowers out there. And this is why we mainly put this call together because, I'm going to sit on the conservative side and I'm going to sit on the side that I'm going to protect borrowers out there and warn them. Right now, I'm going to be honest. I hear a lot of brokers say, I'm super busy, I'm super swamped, I'm hitting my database, I'm doing this. Here's a couple of things that I want to point out. A lenders, let's look at A lenders. If you're on EI due to this pandemic, they're not going to lend. They're not going to give you money, right? They're not. So they're going to take a back seat on that and they're going to say you're not approved. So what's going to essentially happen when I see brokers advertising, 30,000 quick loan, I can close really quickly. You're talking private with me. You're talking in the private sector. So is that the right thing to do right now for any borrower out there? Why don't you go to the alternatives? Let's go to the lenders. Let's get the deferral program if you really, really need it. Dee, your opinion, what do you think about that?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you there. Like right now I see it all over Facebook. I see these ads.
Predator lenders, man, predator brokers, they're out.
All the time. And it's like, oh my God, how are these people, don't take advantage of these borrowers in time.
No.
And like you said, talk to your clients, encourage them, rather do the defer mortgage, mortgage payments when they can do that now, right?
Yeah.
Instead of taking this, paying all these fees, never mind that and do what you just said. Do the defer.
but let's put something in perspective. What is the government doing right now? What are they putting in place? They're putting things in place to help these borrowers. So don't panic. Don't jump into your mortgage alternatives. Don't jump into, I can't pay. If you're really, and I say, I'm not too keen on this deferral program because I read an article today that said Equifax, you will be affected by Equifax reports. So I'm not saying it's the best option for you. Until that EI, until that 2000, until all these alternatives that the government's putting in place kicks in, find other ways to do it. You know what I mean? And if that deferral program is something that you really need, because let's be honest, guys, 35% of these borrowers in Canada, they live paycheck to paycheck. Do you know what I mean? And it's sad as it is, and I hate this. I hate saying this, but we need to help these people and guide them. This is what our job's to do, right? This isn't the time where we come out as predator brokers and start saying $20,000, $30,000, quick fix loans. Remember, 6 months from now, people are going to remember you, right? So that's my issue right now. Aaron, your professional opinion, like you said, this isn't the time for private deals to happen because you're talking about house prices. Just my appraiser telling me on Friday, I said, what do you mean it's down 500,000? It was 550 3 years ago. He's like, if it's 650 or 620 today, you're way below that, Carm. I'm sorry. He's like, you don't know what's going to happen to these prices of these homes. So imagine all these private lenders coming out trying to borrow on current values. You're right, Aaron. You don't know what the prices are going to be in 3 months. We don't know.
No, and this is the biggest problem is nobody knows. So when you call predator lending, like how can you put somebody in a position where you don't know their outcome? You don't know where they're going to be in 1 month, let alone 6 months. So for somebody to take out this extremely high loan because you are doing private side, it's going to be high. It might not, they don't need it necessarily.
That's exactly what you said, Aaron. Exactly what you said.
So in 3-4 months, like you said, we're going to be the ones at the back end of the deal. So yeah, sure, we helped them out for this first month. It's just like, okay, awesome. We have a solution for this month. But in 3 months, they're going to be in a worse position now because they just took on more debt, more problems. If they still don't have income, they still don't have a job. Now
your house isn't worth the value. Right?
So this is the problem now. So now you just took on an extra $30,000 loan at 8%, 10%, whatever that private lending may be. So now in 3 months okay, well, we got to fix this solution. We can't fix the solution now because your house just dropped 20%, 25%. So now you're in a position where you're completely out to lunch on everything.
Your house.
So you can't, So now you're going to lose your house. Now you're in a position that you were worse than before.
So guess what happens, Aaron? Here's a newsflash to all borrowers out there. All these private investors that are very smart with their money. Okay, think about this. Private investors, you know who you are, right? You brokers out there, you know who you are. You know these houses are going down. What ends up happening, Aaron? When they default on their mortgage,
the predator lenders get their home. They just bought themselves a home. So now, okay, we'll use worst case scenario. So essentially, worst case scenario, we'll call it predator lending. This is what we're talking about. Obviously, this is
100%.
This is that we have. So now these lenders aren't thinking about, hey, what's my exit strategy? These lenders are going to be thinking about, hey, how fast can I get your home?
Thank you.
So now, once you get out of your home, now these lenders are going to be like, well, I don't care if it dropped because technically, so this is. Real estate investing, everybody knows, if you buy cheap, you sell high. You buy when times are low. So now times are super, super low, but they're lending on these low prices. They don't care because they can rent your house out for the next several years. Somebody always needs a place to live. So these lenders know they're going to get rent money. So they're going to cover the mortgage for 3 or 4 years until the market goes back up. So now they're sitting on bank. They're like, whatever, I'm still getting my payment that I need to cover this mortgage. But now in 2 years, I'm going to sell this house because the market's gone back up, and they know that. So they got no problem lending on it, of course, because they know the market's going to go up.
Yeah, for sure. So here's the secret, right? So here's what we're going to let borrowers know. Do you think you should be getting a private? Do you think you should be getting any private at this uncertainty time, right? We're in a pandemic right now. Do you think you should be touching your home at all? No, not at all. If you're coming up for renewal and you're in a good position, for sure, call me. You know what I mean? No problem. I'll refinance your home on an A side. But if you're all these brokers know you're on EI, you don't qualify. You don't qualify with A lenders. So I know who you're targeting. You're targeting, the private side. That's what you want. You want these people for privates, right? Not a good idea. Right now, this isn't a good idea. And the good investors are not going to lend their money out right now. They're not. They're not. Exactly.
Right.
And Aaron, we didn't even set up a call to talk about this. You said the right thing. My private investors are waiting. They're not lending out money. They're not.
Yeah, it's scary because then, well, like you said, so even if you are, so we'll go from the private investor side. So the good private investors, mind you, keep your word. These are the good private investors, not the shady ones. They're holding off because they are also thinking about the client as well. Because
That's right.
if this guy gets laid off, what's going to happen now? Like the good investors don't want the home. They just want their investment back. They want the thing.
Exactly.
So like now that's why they're holding back, because like, I don't want to carry this home. I don't want to have to sell it. I don't want to have to do all this work. If you're going to be laid off or you're going to have financial problems, I don't want to put you in that position.
Exactly. So for all those 20, 30 quick loans, call your lender, talk to your lender, come to an agreement. I said this to you guys. I think this is going to last maybe till June, right? We're looking to June. So you've got 2 months that you need to cover yourself, but the government has things in place. The government is putting things in place, right? So we know this, right? So you know what I've been doing? I've been guiding my clients and giving them all the links to CRA to set up all these extra money that the government is giving you. You know what I mean? So, let's think about it. You know what? In 3 months, come back to me. When the dust is settled and everything's done, then let's do a financial review and let's figure out what's best for you. But at this uncertain time, it's not a good idea. Dee, what are your thoughts on that?
There's good and bad to everything, right? So like right now, the good thing is anyone that's buying, they're putting in those conditions of financing, which never happened before, right? People are asking before they put offers in. Like I've had clients call me and say, this is what I do for a living. Am I going to have a problem getting financing, which is great, right? They're not just quickly putting in an offer. They're actually coming to us, asking us for our advice. And then we navigate, we find the answers, we know the answers, and then we go back and tell them. So they're not put in that position where they're stuck and they have to have financing or they have to sell their house. Right? Everything's being put on hold. So what may be slightly, on a downside for us now, it's going to, transition into where, good things are going to happen. I find that we're going to have so much more business come the fall. People are not going to be, I don't want to put people in a position where I know it's not good for them. Right? So like I said, everything's being postponed and that's okay. It's
okay. And I said this to you guys, being the guide right now and holding people's hand. And, I'll be honest with you. I've been contacting my BDM and asking them for each lender, can you help this client? This is the mortgage. And they've helped them right away. They've gone and they've transacted and they've deferred. But I let the client know right now there's so much uncertainty. And I just read an article, like I said to you guys, with Equifax, that Equifax is reported it as a missed payment. But guess what, guys? What's going to happen in June with the lenders, right? The lenders see a missed payment. What do you think the lenders are going to do? Are they going to be more sympathetic because of this pandemic, or are they going to say, oh, they missed a payment, forget it?
Yeah, they're going to know. They're going to be like, well, there's 30,000 other people that miss payments in that exact month. Yeah. It's not like you missed it like in December. If you missed it in December, they'd be like, oh yeah, whatever, you missed a payment. Yeah, that's a strike.
Before, right? No. And now you just happen to miss your first one.
Exactly. So remember, we're all, and everybody needs to know, and all borrowers out there need to know, you are in everybody's boat. Like we're all in the same boat, right? We're not, it's not, nobody's, gonna mark you for missing your payment, but at least call to arrange with your lender. Make sure, and there's a lot of posts with brokers posting all the lenders' numbers. Utilize that. Make sure you're using that. Make sure you're calling your lender, you're speaking to them, and you're letting them know your struggles, right? Because, going forward, there's going to be a lot of layoffs, right? And with that EI, they say, I was speaking to, I sent an email to all of you. EI, they're not qualifying you, right? So people assume, well, and then D, you asked me the question, if it's in the pipeline, are they going to still close the deal, right? So, from some lenders, I'll say they did say they would close the deal. They won't go back to that deal until it's closed, right? So I just think that we need to give the right advice. Brokers out there, agents out there, beware, man. You're going to be called out eventually. you know? So you targeting these borrowers, it's not good. It's not good at all. You know, be the light, be the guide, be the shining guide to anybody. You know the answers. You know the true answers as, you know, as leaders right now, you know, representing your clients. So, you know, it makes me sick seeing all these posts. It honestly, it sickens me, right? Because I would never, ever do that to anybody. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
Are you seeing any panic decisions being made, like from people that might not be in a good position financially?
Oh, big time. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. But you know what, Jamie, I'll tell you one thing. All the client wants you to do, guys, is guide them. You know what I mean? If I just say to them, hey, you know what? I got your back. Let me take care of this for you. And I call my BDM, you know, everybody, I'm telling you I'm busy. Mind you, I'm busy, but I'm busy with doing requests, right? And I say to these people, let me take care of this for you. Don't you stress out. And you know what? The BDM has been amazing. Like our broker manager, they've been awesome. They've been facilitating and helping us and guiding these clients through, right? So, you know, all you need to do is honestly assure people that they're fine.
Yeah.
Assure people that everybody's in the same boat. So you know what? They're not going to dock you. They're not going to knock you over. They're not going to take your house away, you know, but you have to call and you have to arrange, or give us a call and we'll let you know. Sometimes, you know, with the total equity plan under Scotia, you can actually take money out because the money's available there. Let us do that review for you, right? Instead of running to go get a second, let us do the financial review. We know what we set up for you. So call us, right? Let us guide you. Be the guide, right? I keep saying this to you guys, and the new guy on the team's like, wow, I think I'm going to be a guide for everybody because that's all I say. But the truth is be the guide, because people are scared. They don't know finances. It's chaos. Jamie, be honest. If you didn't have me, right? Because you've asked me, if you didn't have me, how would you feel? Calling the bank, you can't get through to the bank because everybody's calling the bank. Just like Aaron said, there's thousands and thousands of people. How would you feel if you didn't have me?
I would feel scared and confused because we don't, you know, the normal person out there doesn't know the terminology, doesn't know what's going on. And then when you get somebody on the other end that isn't sympathetic to that doesn't understand that we might not know the terminologies, we might not know what's going on and what is out there for us, it's scary. It's scary to go out and just call when you're in a position where, okay, you just got laid off and now you don't know if you're going to make the payment. It's a hard decision. Am I going to lose my house? Am I not going to, you know, it's difficult. And that's why a team like you guys, it's so important to have, because you have the knowledge and you know how to solve the problem for someone like me. You know what I mean? And that's so important.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, guys. And Aaron, that's what I was saying. You were bang on. It would be the guide, right? So you are right, Aaron.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's just everybody. So there's an old saying, you don't, and whatever, I won't say this, the old saying, but anyways, don't listen to your stupid Uncle Mike that's been drinking a case of beer and you know what I mean? He gives you advice on your financials just because it worked for him. Everybody is different. Talk to an actual professional, whether it's us or any type of professional in general. Talk to a professional, get an actual educated thing. The problem is social media. Obviously we're on social media now, but whatever.
Gosh.
But people hear something on social media that, oh, this worked for them, but they don't realize that the product that they're in is not necessarily, you know, going to work for them. So it's going to be put them in a worse position. So they just automatically assume, hey, doing this is going to solve my problem, when in reality it's not.
And social media, it's what you're saying. A lot of people read stuff in social media, and I think, and this is kind of like you know, make sure to double check the facts of whatever it is that you're seeing out there. It could be the news, it could be mortgage news, it could be whatever it is. Just double check your facts, because
but Jamie,
there's
if it's
a lot
on
out there.
Facebook, it's true. It's true.
It's true.
I believe everything.
Everything up
But
Facebook's right.
I have quite,
No,
and
but
like I
it's true.
mentioned
Everybody
before, like
Googles everything, right? Everybody Googles, and it's like you have a headache, you Google, and it's a list of all these problems.
Yeah.
It's just mortgages. Stop Googling stuff and call us.
Yeah.
And that's like when you're sick, you automatically Google and it goes to like Dr. MD and it's always, you're going to die.
You're going to die.
every single fucking, right? It's like, you're going to die. It's like, that's it. You have a severe thing that you're going to die. It's just like, well, just relax. And maybe there's other things that are involved that you're not going to die.
It's true though. But you know what? It's sad though, because, you know, all these, and then you read the comments, like there's a 50% on these predator lenders. 50% are saying, you know, really bad words, right? Like, go F yourself, you know? And the other 50% is like, okay, sure. How can you help me? So you know that it's working, right? So that 50% was targeted to the people that are saying, honestly, to the people that are saying, you know, help me, do whatever. You know what? Call your lender. Call, you know, people that are trusted, because you know what? That is dangerous. You know, going exactly what you said, Aaron, tactic. It's all tactic. You lend out that money, and then what ends up happening is you lose that house down the road. That's what the investors are looking at. You know what I mean? They're watching, they're praying. So that's why I've come up with the predator lender. I'm telling you, man. Jamie, you thought it was funny. Jamie over here.
In the upper right.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Go ahead, Aaron.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Let's go to camera B. Go camera B.
I was gonna, all this talk about predator lending, but keep in mind, like, we do have solutions. Like, just not every problem right now is going to be predator lending. We like people are in good positions where we can help them financially and have a good solution.
That's what I was saying. A-lenders, man, you're right.
Yeah. But A-lenders, or like we got monoline lenders, obviously, but
privates,
stuff like that.
We do have privates. Yeah, but you got to pick the right solution, right? Let's do a disclaimer on that. It's not all bad for private. You're right. So
exactly. So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
And and people don't fear if you just got put in a private or maybe, or hopefully, that they did put you in the right product where you are able to fix this solution, and it's not an actual bad. You know what I mean? Just make sure you always have that exit strategy. Just keep in mind, just always have that exit strategy. Always have your same plans and goals and everything. Just don't change everything just because of the scenario that we're in. Always just stick to the same theories.
No, you're right. Dee? I think she was just breathing.
No.
Dee just took out a private mortgage.
Oh, yeah. You know, privates are good, but they can be bad too, right? Like I said, you have to know who the investor are. You have to know, you know, your client. Like you said, the most important is you have to have that exit strategy, right?
Yes.
And if you don't guide your clients into a private, right? Because
anything
that can help.
Privates are not always wrong. Okay, so we should say this though, Aaron, you're right. So you may need a private, right?
Yeah.
So there may be a private. I'm just pointing out the facts. I've seen a lot on my feed about this 30,000 quick loan on your home, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I'm just saying, you know, I'm a little bit concerned with that, right? So, you know, when you start doing stuff like that, that's where it worries me. But if you're in a private, in an existing private, and you need to renegotiate because it's this month to renegotiate, then that's okay, right? So we're not talking about those type of private. Disclaimer, right? So people are aware. So we don't get 1,000 comments saying, you know, oh, wow, it's wrong. You know what you're saying. If you are in that private, okay, we get it. You know what I mean? We need to renegotiate because it's coming up for renewal in April. That's a different story. If you need the private, we're talking about, you know, the other extreme of this product, right? When you're handing it out as candy cane.
Panic decisions. People are making panic decisions.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about that sort of predator lending. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about predator lending in a pandemic. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and everybody knows, so it's a well-known fact. It's not even in mortgages or anything in financing. It's a well-known fact in sales. It's you get them right then. You know what I mean? Like once you lose them and once they go away, that's going to lose their sale. So that's when it becomes that predatory lending, when it's just like you're jamming it down their throat and they feel as though they don't have any other solutions, and they just put their hands up and say, well, this is what I have. So they automatically take it for the thing. But if it's an actual educated decision on why you need to go into this private lending, that's a completely different story opposed to panic decision and like, oh, my whole world's going to come to an end. I got to take what I can get or else I'm completely screwed. So.
No, you're right. Aaron, you're bang on. That was actually perfect. Let's make sure we put that right in the middle, Jamie.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I know Dee was like, oh my God, I got to get ready.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. This is a problem of being at home every day. And then I was excited because I go, okay, they finally gave me a day to actually do my hair, you know, kind of somewhat get dressed.
Aaron's like, I don't care. I'm wearing my hat.
Hey, whoa. I put on my good track pants today for this meeting. I put on my going out track pants.